You can use this on any 6-string guitar, and I'll show you how in just a minute. But as it turns out, when you take all that theory out there and you put it all together, it all boils down to this one pattern. It contains all the right notes for any key. It repeats across the entire guitar neck over and over.
There we go. Test one. There we go. Sorry. Ooh. Good? Okay. Oh, hold on a second here. Oh. I'm sorry, I thought we were... Yeah, here we are. See, I can't monitor myself if I want to be a righty. How's it go? Okay, sorry. I can't use the front of the phone or iPad or any of that devices because I'll be a lefty. So I'll look like this, right? You know what I mean? Okay. So I should look like a righty. I have people ask me if I'm a lefty because all my videos are fine, but the lives for it started sometime last year, and everybody blames each other, you know, whose fault it is. But anyways, it always comes out mirrored, I think is the word. So I think. Oh, by the way, I just have I just uploaded a video today. So if you're the type that you like to learn songs, or you're having a trouble learning songs, you might want to check it out. It's got some tips. I mean, there's no magic pill, right? You know that, but it's got some pretty good tips for just things that will help you out. You know, I think it's called A Beginner's Guide to Learning Songs, and it's just like a checklist. You know, a few things that you just got to go through. So do me a favor and just check it out. Drop a comment. Say hello. Whatever. Give me your input as to where you are out there. I mean, people come. I don't see you, but people come regularly. It'd be nice to know more about where you're at, where you guys think you're at with this. So I'm organizing something, I think, on a website, and I want to know where you're at with this. So I got a few things coming up shortly. So keep an eye for that, and I know you will. Nothing crazy and major, but I haven't realized every day we'll call it the community of guitar common sense. There are more of us every day as the gospel is preached around the globe of guitar players. slowly but surely, we're like the Apple in the world full of PC, Windows, computer users. But our army is getting stronger every day. And the reason it gets stronger is we talk common sense here on this channel. Guitar common sense. That's the only way I could put it. I hope to, and you see that I explain things in plain talk as often as I can, right? And that helps, because that's what I couldn't find anywhere. I found all kinds of people that could give me information and point me in the right direction, but I really didn't have anybody when I was looking through YouTube. Now, this was a while back, okay, I admit, but still, there were a lot of people. It's just some spoke to me different ways, and nobody did the complete thing. And I guess so nobody catered to the real bottom feeder beginner like me. And what do I mean by that? Well, what I mean is I knew nothing. Zero. Nothing. I knew nothing at all when I picked up a guitar at an advanced stage, a very advanced stage, okay? Those records are permanently sealed, so we're not going there, but an advanced stage. I'm still at an advanced stage, okay? So, just got to play around. Some's good and some bad, right? And that's how you learn your guitar. That's how when I always say just play your guitars, just play it, figure it out. Like, okay, so what's this is, I think this was in the key of C. We've lost it now, but okay, so look, here's one of the ways that when I say just play your guitar. So I don't know how old I was into this before I realized that your whole scale is on one string. Okay? Now, I'm not going to get all, this is 1, 4, 5, and all that on you, okay? Maybe just quickly. All right. Your scale is on one string. Okay, you can never turn these things off. They just keep coming back for more. All right. That's a nice progression. We'll get to that in a second. All right. Where am I here? All right. So, all right. One string, you can do everything as far as the scale. So, for example, I don't know if let's use the top string, right? So, G, right? So, you can play the G scale on one string. Now, we all know that, and that's fine. But that means you can also make melodies, right? Because you're actually using the notes from the scale. So you're actually playing, like you can make little lead lines or bass lines. It would sound more bassy with this string, but so here's what I mean. Like, this isn't pre-rehearsed. I'm not going to start playing all these riffs to these famous songs, right? I don't think I will, but look. Right? You got this thing. Like that could be a melody. If there's your verse, you know what I'm saying? And it's all on one string. You can get way fancy, of course you can, how you want to play it, right? But you can make little melodies anywhere along this string. You don't have to stick to the major scale, right? You could go pentatonic, you could go minor pentatonic. You have different. You can do the 1-4-2-2-4 thing of the minor pentatonic uh, uh, gaps, right? So you can do things in one string, and then of course that would lead us to things like just understanding how like notes when you're going up, as opposed to what they are and what they look like and what they sound like going down, up, and how can you go a string below and do the same thing? Well, let's try it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ba, 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 ba. Yeah, of course. That's what I mean by just play your guitar. Now, you didn't have to know that you were actually playing notes of the G major scale, right? Or even major pentatonic scale. So there's your G, A, B, C, D, E. There's your scale. But you didn't need a scale to tell you that that sounded good because you did it before I told you it was the scale. See my point? That's just play your guitar. That's what I mean by that. So whether it's doing something, which some of you here right now are finding that's a little intimidating. I'm not sure what he's talking about. That's cool, because I was like that too when I'd watch these people, and I don't know what that guy's talking about. I like it, I get it, I just don't understand it. So I get that. But this isn't difficult, and it's something that the more you see it, right? So you may not apply to you now, but right? So when you don't have to be forced to learn or memorize a scale, that's what they say, playing by ear. A lot of them, is that, hey, this sounds good, right? Whatever I do on those kind of 6 notes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can make little combinations and little melodies. But if I'd have said to you, okay, learn the G major pentatonic scale and then play me some melodies off it, you'd be like, oh, scale what? Oh, okay, scale. Oh my God, G. Oh, and it really freaks some people out. Forget the scale. Just play. Just you can do things on one string and it'll all sound good. So the key is, can I replicate what I just did? And then that's what you get that. Now you start getting those call and responses like, what did you do to me? Right? I stole your heart on Main Street. Right? Right? Just by manipulating how you play them. But those 6 notes that we just used came from the G scale. That's all this is. So when you do things like that, you don't always have to know. Sorry, I don't always get my questions on time, but acoustic. Thin tip fingers. So no, that I think that would be probably an advantage. I mean, I haven't seen your fingers, but because we encourage, as beginners, we're encouraged to get up on our curly toes, right? Take some of that. We got to get up on our curly toes, right up like right on the edges of the strings like that. So I would imagine, I know the bigger the finger area on the tip is, the more difficult it becomes difficult to fit your fingers in certain frets and without touching other strings, right? So I would think that I don't think any fingers are that much of a hindrance, because you have a will, you have a way, you'll make things happen. Like, very few people pick up a guitar day one and start doing a 5 fret thing, or like kind of thing like that. I mean, that's something that you work to. You will adopt. Your fingers will adapt, and you'll stretch, and you'll be able to get to notes if and when you want to, and you're ready to. And that's what we do here. This is the freedom of the guitar book people. That's what we are. We are the freedom from the guitar book people. This is the group that we are forming, and we're getting stronger every day. Like, honestly, this channel has grown more in the last couple of months than, in a year. I think people are seeing the light. So if you'd like to support and help out, please head over to the other part of YouTube where you can see my page. I don't know how you get it from there. And just go and take a watch, even for a few minutes, of my new video that I just dropped about how to learn songs. There's some really cool tips in there. But if I get you to go there and you click on it, see, I'm being honest because that's me, and you click on it, YouTube thinks, hey, this might be a good video, and it sends it out to more people, and then I get more attention. So that would be really cool. Like, I mean, if, because that's how that's how you help people on platforms like this, by doing the clicks, right? And stuff like that. So that would be really appreciated if at some point, you can always come back, right? And we'll still be here. But that would be really cool if you could do that. I knew that. Okay. What Beats by. I only know how to put in, okay, on the computer. Could I play guitar? Well, sure. Yes. Yes, I know. Okay, we have to define. So K Tate, yes, but we have to define what you mean by advanced to advanced, beginner to intermediate, because everybody tends to have a different um, opinion on what that is. But yeah, okay. So sure. Well, first let me address what is beats there. Um, I'm not sure I understand what you're asking. Okay. If you're asking, I understand when you're MIDI. Okay, so if you decide you want to play guitar to add to your beats, unless there is a device to convert, you will not get a MIDI. You won't be able to edit the MIDI note like you do now. So the way you edit MIDI now, you won't do that, as far as I know, with the guitar input through an audio interface, right? To turn it into computer language, for which your DAW then uses. But it's going to go in as a wave, not as a MIDI. So you won't be able to. The editing process is different, if that makes any sense. So yeah. So yeah, that's right, Barb. Okay, so yeah, okay. So to answer the question, yes, and I kind of do jump around, and one day it's this, one day and that. Okay, and I would rather not do that. But the problem is, it's the nature of this beast. So look, I know I'm not the greatest technically, but I've had a rough time navigating the inside of YouTube, and figuring out how to take advantage or not of certain aspects of it, and options they have. And the one thing I find, even when I go to other people's channels to support and get information, it's all a big cluster bang. I mean, I guess, okay, so, you can have certain groups or whatever, channels on your channel or something, groups like categories or whatever. So I said, oh, that's good. So I start, which there are categories up there. I don't know what they call them, categories. So you start doing that, and and you think this is great, and all of a sudden, boom! Oh, sorry, that's it. You're only allowed so many. Oh, okay. So you start putting videos in the categories, and you get to, I don't know, 6, 7, 8, or whatever, and then all of a sudden, like, you can't put any more. It's just bizarre. I don't get it. It's not like it's taking any physical room. I mean, it doesn't make sense. So, anyways, that's something that, unless it's changed, I haven't revisited, but I have a hard time. Everything you get, it's all out of, there's a beginners here, and I've tried to organize it, and it just doesn't seem to want to work that well. So, the next thing is, I don't know, the YouTube is saying that you can put it into like classes, courses, or whatever. I've never really been, I would rather create a community. See, what I get sick of here is I get sick of, the idiots, the morons, the time wasters, just the children of the world that have nothing better to do, right? We got to deal with them. But, I just like to weed that end of it out. And I'd like to get to the point where I create something where we or you would follow for a certain amount of time to get you through a certain thing. Whether it be from the first day you bring your guitar home to the first day you play a song, whatever. You would still go at your own pace, but I would be there weekly to have a private sort of, let's do it, right? There could be, I don't know how many of you watching when I say private, meaning you're not going to get any you have to know the link to be there. So I'm very interested, and I can see things going that way. It wouldn't be anything, I don't know how they work it with monetary things with this. This is part of the whole YouTube thing. I just feel that if you start trying to, I don't know, I don't know, if you just start, it's not the purpose, sort of, to start making it an enterprise. At least that's not how I feel right now. So I don't know. I get approached quite a bit, pretty much daily. I get approached. Now, some of these are all through email, all through the channel here, and I mean, take them for what they are. There's a lot of try to, I'm not gonna say scam, but what do you call it? Like, get rich quick. I'll get you 1 million views this week and all this kind of stuff. Blah blah blah. I get a lot of that, which I kind of weed out. But I have had quite a few offers for partnerships or sponsorships. Things. I have not taken them up, only because I don't feel I'm big enough yet, anyways, to be of that much of an impact, I think. But our live numbers are very good. So, like, I'm really happy with the live numbers. So I feel that maybe I do offer a value to a potential advertise thing. And so I get those daily as well, almost daily. Anything from sunglasses to software. I had the people, the wireless headphone people, the X5. But that was a very sort of, I found a very strange negotiation. That was a bit different. I didn't quite understand how that I'm not going to get into it, but it was very strange. So I was not comfortable moving forward with that. But it's because I can't, I got to have a bit of integrity, And if I use their product and it works, they work, all those things work. I have a video about the cheap Amazon ones somewhere buried when I was starting out. Sorry. And I did and it got it got quite a few views actually. So what they don't tell you with these, all I'm going to say is this: they work. But what they don't tell you is they are very hogging of the communication band that you're on. Okay? So what I mean by that is it's a 2.4, which is, for most people, it's the common Wi-Fi frequency in your house. So what has happened through my undocumented, unanalyzed, just from someone solving a problem, they suck the internet out of the rest of your house. They disrupt it or use all the bandwidth. So other people in your dwelling using your Wi-Fi, it sucks it. It bottlenecks them to the point where it's extremely noticeable. So this had been happening for a period of time without it being properly like, hey, we got a problem here, And it wasn't until, and I'm talking 5-6 weeks, I even called the company to see if they had changed our bandwidth unknowingly on us or whatever, and everything was the same. And I did bandwidth tests, and everything came back good. But I didn't do the tests while I was hooked up to the wireless. So when I expressed that concern, I never heard back from them. So beware if that's an issue to you. If someone is depending on the Wi-Fi in the house, I mean, you can stream, you can do all kinds. You can have 2-3 people watching Netflix. That's not an issue. We all know that. But for some reason, these 2.4 receivers, they suck up. So little by little, I started putting things together. I go, wait a minute. I had these things plugged in all last night. And, they couldn't stream their games. It kept chugging up on them. Okay. And, when did you have problems loading Netflix and stuff? Oh, that was, yesterday afternoon. And I'm thinking, I was on. So we started testing it, and sure enough. So, and it's not mentioned anywhere. It's not mentioned on the box, in the how they tell you, like, don't operate in the rain and don't put your tongue on the back. Those kind of directions when you open it. There's all that, but there's no, hey, this may disrupt your home's Wi-Fi. This hogs your Wi-Fi bandwidth at home, because I think that's what it does. It just takes over. And they talk about it switches all these different channels, and I think it's a load of bullshit, but that's just me. That's my rant for the day, so I'm sorry about that. I'm allowed to rant, eh? You can get, sorry, I didn't see your follow-up there, what is Beats, but you can get all that from, if you're using Apple, if you're using GarageBand or Logic, you can get all those, there's guitar everywhere. You can get guitar samples everywhere for that. I think, sorry, I didn't see that. You've already tried that. You don't like the sound. Yeah, so you could set up a microphone like this, right? So you could set up a microphone like this, and you could record. Into that microphone, as it'll come out as a wave file, but it'll go into your DAW, So you'll just have MIDI tracks and then you'll have a wave file track. But you can still line it up and you can still put effects on it and play with it, right? You know, I think that's what you're asking. I'm not sure. Well, thanks, Jerry, but you're right, it is difficult. Well, thank you, Wally. That's what I do here. So, anyway, sorry for the little rant and sorry for getting a little bit off topic there. But see, the problem started about, I think it was early last year. All my lives got flipped around to positive, negative, like left, right. And for the law, I tried everything. And for like I did it from the different, like the iPad, the tablet. I tried everything. Anyways, and they all blamed each other. YouTube blamed whoever you're streaming, and Apple blamed them, and they blamed Apple, whatever. So now what I got to do is the way I'm comfortable streaming is through my phone. So what I got to do is I got to now use what do you call it? The front camera? No, the back camera. That you know when you're filming things, of course, the back camera. So as a result, when I look into the camera, I see myself. So I've got to run a monitor so that I can see myself. But until I figure that out, because I don't, it's not that I want to look at myself. It's just that I like to make sure that if I'm showing people something, that it's in the camera, right? Or if, I might move or whatever. So I like to see, so I run a second phone just like you are. I'm a client customer supporter, whatever they call people, right? And I'm watching myself like you're watching me just to make sure that I'm in. So anyway, sorry for the off topic there, but anyway, so uh, so I don't know where I was going with that, but anyways, thank you for the kind remarks. I try to help as many people as I can, for sure. Um, um, yeah, well, hey, that's a good one, Randy. Sorry I missed your message there. As I said, I think you understand I'm kind of got to stop every now and then, scroll around. Uh, so yeah, it was Jerry, and then okay, yeah, yeah, absolutely. It's one of the biggest issues is when I started too was when I started learning guitar. I was all over the place, and everything that I saw on YouTube, which wasn't as many way back then. We're talking quite a while ago now. You know, uh, it just you would. It's like a kid with a new toy. You get the new toy, and you play with it until you see another new toy, and then you want that new toy, and then that new toy, and you know, next thing you know, you're trying to learn things that are just you're not ready for it. It's you can't do it, and that is the biggest problem. I see it. It happened to me twice, and I see it all the time. And anybody that I know in my little circle that I know that has tried to learn guitar have quit, whether it was after only a few months or even after a year or two. I quit twice after a year each time, right? And it's I. So it's like okay, you know, it's like going to a Chinese restaurant where the menu, in order to order, you'd have to learn Chinese first before you order. And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to learn advanced technique and musical theory first or while we are still trying to do this overwhelming task of getting two hands to work together in a way that's going to make music precisely and with precision and rhythm and timing and tempo. And we're expected to do all this while we also memorize what notes are in the C sharp flat minor pentatonic. Relax, everybody. You don't ever in your lifetime of guitar playing are ever going to need to know the answer to that question. Trust me. And you'll be able to play thousands of songs. You won't have enough time to learn all the songs that you can play without knowing the answer to that question. And little by little, people are starting to understand that. And all I'm telling people is, and you'll know this, I don't ever say, don't ever learn bar chords, don't ever, and everything is going to be a hack and a cheat. No. What I'm saying is, start this way. You may never have to leave this way. And you will be playing songs really well in a matter of no time, as long as it takes you to coordinate these two hands, to do what you need to do to make music out of this thing on even the most basic level. And that's going to vary between all of you, right? There's always that kid in school that could just pick up the rock first time and hit it with a stick. Everybody else took 3 times, 5. Sometimes it took a whole day before someone can actually... We are all wired differently. We're built differently. So we have to learn differently. And let's face it, especially at an advanced age, none of us are going to be professional rock stars. We may think we will be, but the analogy would be that you in your Sunday night beer league or your darts league or wherever you are, thinking one day you are going to be playing for, Manchester United, because you play every Sunday night with the boys. It's probably not going to happen, right? So we got to think and remember that. Okay, now what happened, and I'm a perfect example, though you don't know it, because after I realized and threw the book out the window, that's when I started actually not only enjoying it, but getting really good really fast because I was enjoying it. And that was the whole turning point. And once I realized that all I really had to do was play 3 or 4 chords, but really play them well, people would be like totally impressed, which they started to be for some reason, right? And then as I learned more chords and blended them in over time, but see what happened through that whole time is that I was sounding good. So I went from every day for a year sounding terrible, trying to do all these stupid things, or getting halfway through a song before I blew it on a horrible bar chord, right? And then getting pissed off and forgetting the rest of the lyrics. And then if I was in front of anybody, it would have been a train wreck, right? So once all that garbage is out of your system, and you just want to sit there and actually play, and you just say, well, I know a G and I know a C, so what can I do with that? Well, I don't know. Let's find out, right? So we're out of tune, as you can hear. I snuck a 3rd chord in just for the heck of it. Do anything you want with 2 chords. Kumbaya. Shaky, rattle, and roll. You can make all kinds of weird noises with different types of picks, your fingernails. You can play with the side of your thumb, 2 chords. I mean, it's 2 chords and a thumb, right? It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be, oh, you didn't put your pinky anywhere, so really you're just playing that. Oh, yeah, okay, that's some form of a G. You're actually playing through the G triad right here. You don't even know it, right? You don't have to know it. Who cares? Sounds good. Just playing the top 3 of that. Just the 2-finger G, we'll call it, to a 2-finger C. Back to the 2-finger G. It's not bad. Higher, higher, yeah. You can just play around with that, right? You got a little groove going with a thumb little bit of attitude or whatever you want to call it, like you're getting something out of you, and 2 chords. And you got something, right? So that's, once I realized that, then, everything just, I don't know, it just became so easy. All I had to worry about was playing a couple of chords and sounding good. And I got better and better with the picking, with the thumbing, with the everything. You just started, that's all I had to do every day. Started to make songs out of those 3 chords. Just play them. See, I don't want to break copyright here. Right? Drop down there just once in a while. Arpeggiate, one strum, and you're out. And it looked like I know what I'm doing. That's all this is the motor skills and knowing what buttons to press. That's it. You don't have to know how to arrange music. You don't have to know any scales. You don't have to know what makes a G chord. You don't have to know any of that stuff. You just got to be able to make your hands do stuff like that. 2 chords, back and forth. Now we'll use the F instead of D. Arpeggiate. Arpeggiate that G. Arpeggiate the C. Arpeggiate the D. And you sound like you know what you're doing. I think a big black hole. Barb, don't fall down the black hole. We don't want to lose you. I can't play banjo like a hillbilly. No, sorry about it. Greetings from Germany. Greetings from Canada. Yeah, okay, sorry, I got backed up on the messages. Randy is off of the phone, off of playing by the book. Yeah, I mean, and also just lay off the really, really difficult songs, or lay off the intros of songs. Like, you don't have to play, so if that's adding the stress to it, how to be charmed. Hey, Triple E from Nashville. Nice. Hey, Triple E, how are things in Nashville? Now, is it safe to assume that everybody that lives in Nashville knows how to play the guitar? I always say the truth, Roberto Garcia. Yes. Thank you. That's well said, Jerry. Are you using... I got your secret, Jerry. I got your secret. You are using ChatGPT, and you're writing, craft me a nice little comment for Ray. Because you sum it up. You always sum things up right. But yeah, I mean, that's the whole idea of this. That's why we're like the Mac of the world. We don't think of the book first here. The book has its place. The book is there to be referenced to when needed, or to settle an argument or two that may break out amongst friends, fellow jammers, or bandmates. For sure. But other than that, we don't think of the book here. So I'm more about the psychology of things, of learning in general, but especially when it comes to the guitar, and especially when it comes to people that have no background in music. And the reason I say that is, all right, full disclosure, I was a pretty good athlete. One of the sports that I was excelling at was baseball. And if I went 15 years and did not step foot in a batting cage and then went in, I mean, you know what? I would be able, at a certain level, I would be able to hold my own. Okay. Why? Not because I could do it physically, but I have that inner mental confidence that I've been here and done this before. So what I mean is if you've had piano lessons as a kid or guitar lessons here and there, or even growing up, you had that buddy when you were 13 or 14 that showed you 3 or 4 chords in his room, you know, while you were listening to Sabbath, man, and Deep Purple. Shh, don't want to give away any ages. But whatever it was, right? You know, like you have a foundation there that comes back. You have confidence. In other words, you're too cocky for your own good because you don't realize what you're walking into, but you believe you can do it and you end up doing it. When you don't have that in the past, now it's different. So I'd never played a note of music, sang music, did anything musical other than listen to music since I can remember. And I go back to when, well, it would have been when Strawberry Fields came out, because I would have been listening to it on my dad's Volkswagen radio in England. And I remember being in the back of that Volkswagen thinking that we were going by the strawberry fields. That's in my mind what they would look like at the countrysides of England. And I, to this day, remember vividly being in the back seat of that Volkswagen, hearing Strawberry Fields. Another song was Winchester Cathedral, that I vividly remember, and Donovan's Sunshine Superman, things like that, right? But I'd never played a note, so I don't have that musician confidence. So I believe, even still at times today, if I'm in a certain environment, that, oh, wait a minute here, this can't be right because I don't know what I'm doing, and I must be wrong, and that does sound good because I'm wrong because I don't know what I'm doing. Or, you know what I mean? Like you're doubting yourself or whatever it is. And you just, oh, I can't be, no, because I should know. So that's the problem. So when you try to learn guitar by the book, from my attempts, 2 of them, it wasn't me that couldn't get it. It was the establishment. It was the book that was doing me in, because the book was forcing me to learn things too early in my journey. I wasn't ready. I didn't understand them mentally because I had no prior do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do thing going on back then, right? And it was just, I just didn't get it. I couldn't do it. And then when I got to the point where I could do it, it sounded like shite. And I couldn't do it. And I just couldn't do it. And even my open chords were, they were harsh and they were not sounding good. I was digging in and I was panicking and all that stuff. And I was tight, tension. Right? Yeah, I guess. And I'm sorry. I'm usually, one day I will find the perfect solution where I can actually sit here and almost speak to you in real time with the text and the messages. And I will admit, I've been getting a lot more of these messages recently than, like, as I said, everything has picked up. So I'm getting more right. So, oh yeah, Jerry, sorry I missed that. It was one of the old Volkswagens with the straps, up on the windows. My dad is a car freak. He's still with us. He's 89. He would know exactly what that car was, and I believe it did have the benders. I'm not sure on that one, but yeah, little Volkswagen, the original Beetles. So this would have been 1965, 6, 7, 6. It had to be before 7. Well, whenever Strawberry Fields came out, right? So, anyways, where were we? Oh, we were. The scarf keeps everything in tune. That's why I wear it. It's my magic scarf. I never did tune, did I? Do I even have a... I got my undertuner. Don't have my... I don't know where my other one is. Yeah, we're okay. We're just a touch. We are in where I live right now. We are having these weird weather changes. We're going from minus 20 to 2 and 3 degrees Celsius, and it plays havoc on guitars. So yeah, it was just, this is the one that always goes out. It's these two here. It plays havoc on guitars. It's not the end of the world. Many will tell you that if it's dry for a period of time or if it's wet for a period of time, it's not the end of the world, like a long period of time. It's when it fluctuates. And so if you live in a place that has 4 seasons, you get a lot of dips throughout the year, and it plays havoc on guitars with good wood, right? That's how you know how quality your guitar is, to be honest, is how susceptible it is to the different conditions, or so I've led to believe. And from my experience, this is considered to be a quality guitar, and I can tell you that it'll stay in tune in the same circuit. It'll be no problem. It'll stay in tune for weeks without touching it. But when you get a bit of a humidity difference. But about your comment about teaching from honesty and all that, well, it's really more, as I'm kind of getting to with this whole long ranty story, once I realized that you can't do it this way. It's like saying, all right, you want to learn how to drive. Well, you got to learn how to build the engine before you. It doesn't make sense. You don't need to know anything about the engine of your car to be able to drive it. Nothing. Just where does the gas go? What does the key do? Turn it on? Great. Steering wheel and those 2 pedals, right? You don't have to know how your computer runs and the software. You just click on window and it opens up. Done. There's your photographs. Okay? So you don't need to know every note is built, every chord is built, the difference between a 7th and an add 9 and an add 11 and a sus 4 and a frickin' diminished 3 and stop. But admit it, that's what we all tried to do. So here I am trying to learn, A and G, but now I'm supposed to learn an A7 add 9. And stick your pinky out here and get that one up. It's crazy. But we think we have to do it because the book says so. Now, if you wanted to be a professional musician, I've always said this, and you need to know all this stuff. 10,000 hours of training and experience to master your craft awaits you. So you better be young and you better be dedicated. So that's, for the rest of us, it's whatever we want to make it to be. And for most of us here, it's learning for the first time, or it's kind of trying to channel things that we've learned here and there over the years even, and try to bring it together and make it something. Because that was my problem. So the psychology of things is when you're every day struggling, hurting, not happy, can't seem to put a whole song together without a major flub up, and are not getting anywhere. You're just spinning every day. Well, eventually, you're not going to want to do that because your brain's going to shut it down. Say, look, bud, you're shit. Move on, do something else, find another hobby. And you do, and you just put it down, and that's it. You think a day or two, and then it goes, weeks, months, years, and now forget it's over. So why? Because, well, it's like anything. Knitting, baking, sewing, darts, snooker, football, whatever, basket weaving. If you are good at something, it's going to look good, sound good, feel good, whatever, taste good. So if you only played those 2 chords, remember we were just playing around? I know the retention on these, you guys come in and out, but just a while ago we just played around with 2 chords. Right? Let's see the book do that. It won't. Right? So you have to understand that, you just gotta forget about everything else other than what you can do best and what you already do best. So those of you that have been, you got a bit of this, you got a bit of bar chords, you've learned to scale, might know a triad, but you don't really know all of them very well, and your bar chords, well, I can't really play these shapes, but I can play this shape. Oh, I don't like the B minor. Okay, and then you know a few open chords, but your timing sucks, and geez, my God, I don't know if I have any rhythm, but well, okay, so you can do all this stuff, but you can't put it all together. So look, you go back to the basics, right? Simplest thing. The first chords you ever learn. Hopefully they're in the same key. If they're not, that's your first goal. Learn 3 chords from the same key and just forget everything else in the world according to guitar exists. Throw the book out the window. No tabs, no nothing. 3 chords. Start with 2 and add your third. So we did that G. You might know how to just play it like this right now. Or whatever. Play it. Right? Whatever it is. Get the feel, get the ear. Listen to that G chord. There's your G. It might look like this for you. Okay. Get something going on, right? I mean, if you've been learning bar chords and playing around with other things, you know how to do this. Okay? All right, so now we got the 2 chords going, right? Now we add that third chord, which is the D. Now, this gives us a little more flexibility. I'm still just strumming down. There's the odd up. Ooh, that's weird. That's like rubbing your head and patting your belly at the same time, throwing in those ups. Ooh, now I'm all thrown off, okay? Why? Because I was playing ups, and I was talking and looking into the camera all at once, right? So that's what happens. So your brain can only handle so much at once until you train it to do more. So we want to get to this point. See, I'm still, if you want to, I'm only just down, so I'm not doing any ups. I just did it that few times I went into the change. But you know what? That's going to mess you up. But that's your first step. So now we do the ones. Look, 3 chords, that's it. G, C, D. Even at this point, we're not really playing songs, okay? Because we have no, remember, timing, rhythm, creativity. We don't have that yet. All we have is mechanics. That's it. That's all we got. That's what we get. But that's what we need. Right? So we're working on the mechanics, so we use those 3 chords to do it. Slowly but surely. And this could be a week, a few days, a month. Slowly but surely. Start adding an upstroke somewhere. See how far? This is like the juggler adding the third ball into the routine. Oh, messed it up. Shit. Okay, let's start again. Ready? Here we go. Let's go to the D. Ah, messed it up. Drop the ball. Right? So you got to start again. All right, let's go. And that's what you're doing. But all of a sudden, then you could do it faster. Right? What was that? I don't know how to play any music. Not only that, if you go check out how to play the 12-bar blues, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Now, what's the significance of that, you ask? Well, I'm glad you asked that. So that is called the 12-bar blues. Right? Now, there are a couple of different versions at the end especially, but it's the 12-bar blues. Now, the reason you learn that is because if you want to, or if you're lucky enough to be in a position where you know someone else who you can play guitar with sometimes, well, or you go to big jams, open jams, whatever it is, it's so hard, whether it's 2 of you or it's 22 of you, to get everybody on the same page, that everybody knows how to jam on the same song, right? So the 12-bar blues, once you know it, it allows you to jam with anybody. If you're playing the 12-bar blues in G, 1, 2, 3, exactly what we just did. There's your 12-bar blues, right? You go, I'm just going to truncate it here, but turn to the C, and then the D to the C to the G. All right. Not only can you now jam along with people in the 12-bar blues, but maybe I should put it in its own key. But I'm going to play the 12-bar blues, but in a different key. So E, A, B instead of G, C, D, right? The 1, 3, 5, 1, 4, 5 of a different chord or a different key than the one I just did it on, because that's the 12-bar blues. It's the 1, 4, 5 chord of every key, right? Or any key, sorry. So in this case, we're going to switch to E, just to show you what you can do with the 12-bar blues. So we're going to do it in E, right? So the chords will be E, A, right? Because E is 1, E, F, G, A is the 4th chord in the key, and B is the 5th, 1, 4, 5, right? E, A, and I'm going to play my B as a triad right here. Okay, so this is just one of, I don't know how many songs. Let me just, here we go. Ba 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 ba. 12-bar blues. Okay? I hope that doesn't trip the copyright, but whatever. To hell with them if they can't take a joke. So many songs are either, there are a couple of variations of the 12-bar blues, okay? But that's the main one. But other songs, like, I mean, think of Please Allow Me, is it Please allow me to introduce myself. I'm a man of wealth and fame, right? Something like that. I mean, it's very similar. And it's just wheeling those 3 chords around. And then there is a B in the pleased to meet you or something, right? So, hi, David. I know, eh? Isn't this horrible? We're getting it too, buddy. We went from, I was just saying, my guitar went out of tune. We went from minus 22 Celsius to plus 3 and rain, right? Thank you for noticing. I take pride in my scarf collection. It's not as extensive as it used to be, but yeah, there you go. Been around a lot. You got it. This is Swindon Town Football Club. Swindon Town Football Club. Oh, geez, I don't know where they are languishing now. League Two, League Three. I don't know, somewhere down the bottom of the fishbowl for sure. But this is Swindon Town Football Club. I also have a program from the year that they won the FA Cup in 71, 70? 70 or 71. But I love my piano scarf. I've had that piano scarf. I'm gonna say since 1987. Rings a bell. Might be off a year, 6, 8. So I've had that piano scarf since then. It's not my favorite scarf because I like the look of it. I like the piano thing. I get people notice that. And it shows, you're probably a musician, right? But what I don't like about it is it's not very comfortable to wear. See, I like scarves. Especially in the winter here, I wear them. This isn't a gimmick. I wear scarves every day, everywhere I go, right? A lot of time, it's one of the last things I take off when I hit the sack. So, but yeah, I have scarves all over. I stick to a couple, I guess, a couple of faithfuls, but a lot of people way back used to call it the Harry Potter scarf, but I never watched that movie. But I do think, and I think for me, now you got to be an old doughboy to remember this one. But for me, it reminds me of. I'll do it. I might be wrong on the color. I don't know if he wore different colors, but let me just. Rupert the Bear. So you got to know who Rupert the Bear is, but he used to wear it a lot like this. Now, I don't know, I can't remember if it was an all red scarf or if it was I'm not sure which one it was, but yeah, so anyways, a little bit of shameless self-promotion, shame. I released a video on YouTube a couple hours ago. It would be awesome if you guys, especially all you trolls out there, that's what I like. If you really want to troll me, why don't you just go and click on my video and troll me on that? No, I just released a video about learning songs, just the way we're talking now. But some tips when you're learning. It's hard to learn songs when you go on the inner Google. There's so many versions. There's so much to consider when you're trying to put the song together. It's more than you think. So this little video outlines some, I think, pretty well. I mean, it's the checklist I go through when I learn songs. And there's times where, like someone might contact me and say, hey, you want to go and play at so-and-so on Friday. But we're going to play this song. I don't know the song, so I got like 2-3 days to learn it, right? So I just take you through the steps that I do. So if you really want to do me a solid, and because I'll tell you what, and I'm going to be brutally honest, is that when you do that, then YouTube like shuffles it out to more people. So I get more, so we can grow that movement, the simplicity movement, the throw the book out the window, guitar book out the window movement that's growing every day. Like you have no idea. I can't believe it. Like every day. I used to get up and get one message. One message. sometimes two. Ooh, right? And like it's just been all of a sudden I can see like if there was these huge channels, I don't know how they keep up. Because all of a sudden out of the woodwork, you got people wanting you to sponsor stuff. You got someone wants you to be the pitch man for their products. I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy. See that little key change there? You know, it's funny with that E major. How many times do you come across the E major and you never would have figured that was the chord, and it ended up being, as soon as you hear it, go, oh my God, that's the sound. And it doesn't belong in that key. That happens so much. Like, it's the only time, I'm not going to play the song for copyright reasons, but it's the only time that song has that. It doesn't go to that any other time in the song, just in the little intro. That's it. Like, that blows me away. So if I'm writing this song, right, in the key of C, I'm starting on the A minor. There's my verses. And then at some point it goes back here, and then it goes down to the F, which is all in the same key, because that's how songs are written. And it ends here again. And that's it. It never goes back to that E again. It's weird. I would have never done that. Why would you do that? It's completely, again, there's no rules, but it's completely against the rules. But somebody was creative enough to think, you know what? There's A minor. He could have gone, or she could have gone to as an intro, because it's one of the chords in the song. Or could have gone. Like, he could have done that. But instead, took a chord that has nothing to do with this key. Right? So here I tell you to learn chords from a key because that's how songs are written. Right? And they are. Just not all the time. Why? Because somebody threw the book out the window. And it becomes, again, I can't play it, but it becomes a great song. Another example of that might be this. And these people are tight on their copyrights, so I got to be careful. Hold on, let me get it right so I can give you the least amount of seconds possible, and you'll know what the song is. Hold on. To the E does not belong there. I'm sorry. Okay? It doesn't belong there. And then all of a sudden it kicks into this E, then this F sharp. And the wonder in the rain. Like, I don't know if that belongs. Right? Because it's, yeah, like I was thinking that key does not have an E major in it, but that's one of those things where years ago I would have said, oh, but what do I know? I'm not a musician. I don't know anything about that. Right? Yeah, Waldo. Where's Waldo? No, I go back further than that, Randy. And not only do you have to be an old doughboy, but you got to be an old English doughboy, because I don't think, I might be wrong, but I don't think Rupert ever made it big here, Rupert the Bear. I do remember at some point as a kid, they did come out with a Rupert, I think like a cartoon show. There was Hammy Hamster on the riverbank, but I think they had a Rupert Anyways, but yeah. And again, I thought it was this color, but it might have been all red now that I think about it. No, his top was all red, Rupert. Oh, now I'm going to have to Google it when I get off the air. I'm going to Google it. Anyways. So yeah, you can see that we don't always do serious guitar stuff here. But anyways, I guess sometimes it's okay to do that. But yeah, I'm still, you know what? Part of the whole movement too is I'm getting a little bit, okay, I'm getting a little bit better with this whole YouTube thing. And just like learning guitar, for me, in order for me to really get the grasp, I gotta understand like these things, these software. Like I gotta get in and understand from the ground how it works, right? And I've been learning quite a bit, to be honest, the last month or two on the inner workings of YouTube, how it works, some of the things that are beneficial to do. And of course that accounts for when you do certain things. And my videos are getting a little better too. Like I try to keep the explanation down right to the point. And I'm trying to always working on different. That's the last missing piece for me is the camera. I haven't found a way to replace the way I work to properly replace having to use an iPhone. And the iPhone's nothing wrong with tablet, iPads. Well, my iPad camera is crap. It was garbage. That's a joke. The camera they put in there, it's almost useless. But the iPhone camera, they're just fine, quality camera. It's just that it's putting the sound and the camera together. That's the issue. With the Apple phones, I mean, literally, you just your mixer plugs right in. You get a little adapter right in. So if I was playing a gig right now, this is how I would sound. Pretty much, I mean, it would sound more reverby or echoey because we'd be in a live room and you're hearing me through compressed stuff through speakers. But I would be the output of how I'm set to broadcast to you is the same output. I would just change the jacks and put in speaker wire and have speakers, and you'd be hearing me in a pub or a coffee shop, right? Or a small venue. So I'm using the same sound, and I've tried it all. And Apple is the only one where you just literally, you just stick it in a $20 adapter into the bottom of the phone, and you get all the recording that the proper, you know what I mean? All right, so I'd like to have a better setup so that I can do better audio with the quality video, or better video with the quality audio. Sorry, I got little yawns. I'm working on that all the time, trying to figure out ways. But the problem is, every time you want to try something, it's like you got to spend $1,000 on a piece of equipment. Oh, that doesn't work. Now like I got stuff here. Okay, since COVID, I have bought every piece of equipment known to man, and finally, I've cobbled together what you see in both video, but more importantly, live streaming. There are other ways. I've tried multiple ways using Macs, PCs, webcams, phones, tablets, OBS, which is a software, open broadcast software. I've tried it all. But to be honest, the easiest and probably best quality is through an Apple phone, but I wish I didn't have to say that. But I do. I've tried them all. The Windows thing is garbage. It might be okay for the Beats people, I don't know, but plugging a guitar into an interface, like a Scarlett or whatever interface that you see, and plugging that into your PC, constant issues of something or another. You got, oh, this driver has to be downloaded. Oh, this is corrupted. Get the newest version of the driver here. Is always something. I mean, I can not think of, well, the last time I did try with Windows, I was recording something and I had the tracks down and I hadn't yet, they were just raw right in. And I just put like a ghost vocal up there, like just sang along so I knew, I have it. And I put a lot of time into it. And I played it back and there was no audio. And I went, like, I spent, how long? And no audio. And it turned out to be these frickin' drivers, So I said, that's it. And I went Mac Mini, and best decision I've made. So there's a learning curve, no doubt. And, so now I got to figure out how to use the phone now I got to figure out the camera, the video part of it. So that's the whole point of that whole ramble. Yeah, yes. That's exactly right. I'm the same way. I love the whole idea of ripping a solo or being able to do something on electric guitar, right, and all that stuff. Absolutely. But, I mean, mine's over there. And, I mean, I haven't touched it for a while because it's not the guitar. It's you got to learn the pedals. You got to learn, the reverb, do you need a DI box? Do you want a fuzz pedal, distortion pedal, delay pedal, reverb pedal, sustain pedal, octave pedal, wah-wah pedal? Oh, each pedal now has software that you can download from their site. Yes, keep everything in memory banks. Absolutely. What a load of bullshit. I mean, it's just mind gobbledy crap. Oh, this amp, you get 900,000 memory watts and you can store 16,000 downloads from the Boss website. Stop. Stop. I wanted to, and I will one day, put more effort into it. But I want to be an electric guy. I really want to be an electric guy. Okay? Oh, we have another child. See, that's what we were talking about before, people. That's why we want to go behind a wall of something to keep those people out. You're kind of jumping in, and I know I'm your 14 seconds of stop, and you're kind of jumping in on something you don't understand the context of what we're talking about. So, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just too much stuff. So you pick up your acoustic guitar and you play it. I mean, how hard is that, right? Like it's there. And it sounds the same, good, all the time. You know what to expect. You know what you're getting. That's all. I mean, there's really nothing. No, it's just the way you go about it, bud. Like, dude thinks memory exists, and like, I'm not being exact. I was throwing out, not that I would ever engage in with you, but like, I was just throwing out the fact that it's technologically and gizmo, and I just want to play guitar. I don't want to know how to work an amp or any mixers and stuff like that. So that's what we meant. I know. Oh, here we go. I know. Thanks, bud. So again, that's what we were talking about earlier, about getting things organized and having courses and stuff. My thing is, I would like to create a venue and have people come to that venue. And here's when I'm going to be in that venue, and here's what we're going to do in that venue. But please, you have to do something to earn getting there. Something. Gatekeeping, whatever it is, something has to get people into the gate. That's all I'm trying to. That's why, it's hard to move forward or was hard for me to move forward until I really understood what, things like what YouTube offer and what they can do and what they can't do and things like that, right? I gotta figure it out, which I'm, as I said, I've come a long way. And then I can say, okay, this is how I want, I could put a lot of time into this, okay? I mean, a lot, like way more than a full-time job, okay? So it gets, right? And I'm not doing it for those kind of goals. And then you start dealing with things, well, like this is one small example, but it's a little more than small, but people like that kind of people that just go around and do that and poke in and make comments and get things shit disturbed, right? That kind of stuff. And that is when you kind of say, yeah, maybe we got to make this a little more exclusive. And that's all I'm saying. So I'm not sure where we're going with it yet, but that's one of the reasons. So, but I think some of you have been going over to check out my video. That's cool. I'm pretty sure. See, I've never done this before. I'm having like a watch party for the grand opening of this video, and I'm because I'm trying to learn, right? Yeah, that's doing okay, I think. Nothing great, but I can't. It's usually about the first 24 hours, right? And if you can get some traction. There was a Johnny, gave us a bit of traction. Yeah, so this is also part of an experiment to see if it matters if I go live when you upload a video. So we're all making history here tonight. You're all guinea pigs. Yeah, generally, I know. Well, but see, Jerry, that's the whole thing. I would probably still. I know your point. You're absolutely right. It's why nothing has been done, right? It's why a lot of people say, oh, you should just have this, do that, do this. Well, it wasn't really my goal. I mean, it may end up going that way, but it wasn't my goal. It's just, but yeah, I understand, Jerry. And I would still, even if it went that way, I would still be out in the public forum. Okay. What is missing? Okay. I was going to kind of talk about this before when Barb had mentioned something and someone else had mentioned something. Might have been Sherry. I find this whole thing a big cluster fart, right? That's what I find. It's difficult to organize things to any level, and maybe that's what they want. I think they want all that, it's kind of mayhem. I've gone to other channels, good channels, big channels, and yes, it's organized, but it's not. It's still there's stuff everywhere, and they don't want you to delete nothing. So some of these channels have thousands of videos. I mean, you got to start using search and stuff, right? Okay, so when you look at it kind of that way, I just find it confusing. So what I know the way I like to learn, okay, call me silly. However, I know that I can learn anything off of, not even thinking of AI, but, just from spending time on the internet, YouTube, this, that's that, right? And it is true to a certain extent, but I always seem to have trouble finding the exact type of, the way the instruction is given to me, the way it's presented. I can find out how to play a G chord anywhere, million places, right? But only certain places are good at showing me what to do with that G chord to its fullest extent. Or it's just a sort of giving you a little bit of an analogy there, right? So I still find that myself, even though I can learn how to use something and figure it out and this and that, I got to go all over the place to get it. I don't know the credibility of the information. It's all over the place. I go back a week later, it's gone. I got to sit through searing pop-up ads and intrusive, voice ads and stuff like that. I pay $5.99 to download a how to use iMovie 5. Okay? The information is right there, in order, properly presented from the people that, I guess, make the damn software. I'm willing to pay the $5 for that. Some people aren't. I get it. Right? But, there's always going to be that, right? But I want I think people would pay to have things organized. So, for example, all right, for those of you that either just bought a guitar or you just starting to play guitar, someone gave you a guitar and you want to figure it out and you really have no clue what you're doing and you're starting from scratch, click here. And when you click here, now you have a path, an organized path. You follow that path, right? If you are at this level, do not go to this level until you can do this. Then back that up with your slot is Friday that I will be online in different time zones. Come, let's ask me questions like we are now. Exclusive. So everybody that's in that learning group has access that Friday to the live show where they can ask any question and get the proper attention. Now, I'm interested in that. I'll put the time into, and I would pay for that. If that existed when I was trying to do this, where instead of running around, if I found someone that I felt was the one to sort of show me what to do, and man, I would have saved for I mean, what are these things? $5 a month and you can cancel, whatever, these subscription things, whatever they are. I mean, within reason. I would have paid, $10 a month for 6 months. I mean, hell, I pay $10 a month or more for Spotify or any of those things, or I don't know how many streaming services I have for TV, Netflix, this. I mean, come on, right? I'd have no problems paying because for me, I would have looked at it this way. It would have saved me close to 3 years. So let's say it would have saved me a minimum of 2 years. And it would have saved me, I would have just been better, quicker, faster, with more confidence etc. No doubt about it. I'd have been writing songs sooner. Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking like, yeah. I mean, I get many people ask if I do private, like through Skype and Zoom, and it's something that I've thrown out there here and there, and I have done some. I have 3 or 4 clients that I see on a regular basis through, in their case, Zoom, one on FaceTime, and so it's my end of things. It's exactly the way you see here, and then on their end of things, that's where it can vary a little bit, because if you're just, which is no problem to just sit and play into your open phone mic or tablet mic, it's okay, because we're really focused on, it's really more, sometimes I know what note you should be playing. I could tell you can't, even if I don't hear it per se, but you know, but yeah, so and I don't put them out there, or it's something I dabbled with and I may offer down the road, but I don't think right now. But anyway, so sorry, this is rant day here. Wednesday rant night, or spiel night, or however you want to call it, or whatever. But yeah, I think certain people like me would want to pay to have everything laid out, and here's your path, because again, there won't be any fat. You won't be going anywhere where it's wasted time. Okay? Again, and it all depends on what you want out of this. Most people want to be able to play songs fast. They want to be able to get into this real fast. The faster, the better. In fact, too fast. But anyways, so that's again my little thing for the day. But and when I say keep it simple, remember, I've already shown on different occasions that just because it's simple in terms of how much or quantity, doesn't mean that it has to be simple the way you play those chords, right? You're really not limited to whatever. And so one of the things I did want to talk about too is I wanted to follow up on a short that I released about the arpeggiating, or arpeggios. And I just want to make sure that we're all clear. Remember, I go the back door for everything, right? So I'm not going to say, oh, well, what you're playing is, this is, you got to, like a scale. That's how it was shown to me. It was like another scale, and I lost interest. Oh, I don't want to learn another scale. I can't even learn one scale. Why would I want to, the way they're playing? But again, if you simplify things, which most of this stuff is at the end of the day, remember, all you're doing when you play those open chords is you're playing the 3 notes of the triad. And that's so important to understand and remember, because that's why it's called an open chord, is because it's the only way we play chords that have really, I shouldn't say that, but in our realm, like of what we're doing here with the guitar, right? We play these open chords here. And the open strings of whichever chord we're playing still only play one of the 3 notes of the triad, which is the 1st, 3rd, and 5th note of the scale. Now, I'm not getting all geeky on you. You don't have to know any of this. I'm just setting it up to understand, so you understand what arpeggios are. So a C has only 3 notes in it. It has the 1st note, which would be C of the C scale. It has the 3rd note, which would be E. And it has the 5th note, which we skip F and we go to G. So C, E, and G are the only notes you need to play a C major chord. So when you fret that C like that and play it, you play 5 strings. Oh, 5 notes. No. The open strings are still only playing the notes C or E and or G. That's it, right? So C fretted, E fretted, G open, C fretted, right? And then what you would do, you can either have the choice, you can let the E ring out, or you could stick another G in there with your pinky. Right? Okay. You're only playing the first, the thirds, and the fifths. That's it. So, when you are play an arpeggio, you're technically going to pick out C's, E's, and G's. That's it. Now, if it wants you to add other notes to the scale, which I guess is possible, a minor 7th arpeggio or whatever, then you would pick whatever note that is. You'd find it and play it with the other 3 notes of the triad. Now, there's all kinds of formulas. If it's a diminished chord, I don't want to get into all that. But all that means is you're adding a note to the 3 notes that are the core, the 1, 3, and 5. So in some cases, you might have to add the 7th or the 9th note. Well, what's the 9th? There's only 7 notes. What? 9th? Yeah, because it starts again. So 9 is actually 2. I know, it's crazy. And 11 is 4, right? So you go through the scale, and then you go 4 more again. And that's the note. It's crazy. But it is what it is. And we have to deal with it. But anyways, you're only playing the 1, 3, and the 5. So when we look at the G chord, I'm playing a G. The triad is G, B, and D, and I'm playing a G, a B, an open D, an open G, an open B, and a fretted G. If you play what they call the add 9, okay, so you have the 2 fingers down there like that, okay? Oh, wow, see, you're adding another, well, yeah, but look at the note that I'm adding. It's D. So now I'm playing G, B, D, G, D, G, instead of B, G at the top end there. Just restacking it to just give it a different flavor, that's all. But we're still playing G's, B's, and D's. So, when you play arpeggios, yes, you're supposed to pick out, in order, the notes of the arpeggio, the 1st, the 3rd, the 5th. And in order to do that, if you're playing the chord, okay, if we randomly play any string of those 5 in the chord, we are playing one of the notes of the arpeggio, but we're not necessarily playing them in order. Big fancy Italian technical musical concept that, they have to be played in order, ascending, descending, whatever. That is a true arpeggio. So yes, then it looks like a scale on your fretboard that you have to play, because think about it. If I'm playing C, there's all the strings together, but I'm only playing C's, E's, and G's. And then if I just do the arpeggiating of the chord, I am also playing them one at a time now, but I'm not necessarily playing them in order. That's the caveat. But it doesn't matter. You are still arpeggiating the chord, and it is a great way to play, right? Oh, someone's got the lingo. Barb's got the lingo, the Pima going on. Huh? Is that the pinky index middle finger thing going on, or what? What's that? Or is that, what am I thinking of? Hey, you're late. Water dog was getting water. Water dog was swimming in water. Water dog was in the water. Someone's heavily into the Travis picking scene. That's good. And I urge you to learn it properly. Like, learn it by the book. It's worth the effort. And if you fall off the rails, man, you'll be able to do anything with your fingers, because, you know, let's say you mess up and you're not hitting the right, you know, the finger that has to only do that string or something. It's 1, 2, and then it's something like that, and then this finger is this, and whatever. If you find, and you probably will, that these fingers are a little uncomfortable there, don't worry about it. You know, you just need those two if you really have to for now. But you know that. But I encourage you to build up. Absolutely, 100%. Right? So what was I saying? The arpeggios. All right. So if you really look at it that way, yes, there is a pattern to play an arpeggio in, you know, the different chords and things like that. So you'd be looking to play, in this case, it would be the C, like I would imagine it would be the G, C, E, G, C, E. That would be an inverted triad because the root note is not C, but it's got the same, remember the notes of the C chord, C, E, G, 1, 3, 5. Right? In nice order, the lowest is the root, the closest, always the closest note to you, which makes it the lowest note, right? But when we play this, G, we're making G the lowest note of the C triad, G, C, E, of the C triad, sorry. We're making G, did I say that backwards? Sorry, I'm tired. There's our triad, right there, right? But it's not in order. So, you know, I mean, that's the whole thing. But this is an arpeggio. So if you arpeggiate through the 6 strings of G, you know that no matter what you play in any order, you're playing one of the 3 notes, the 1, 3, or 5 of the arpeggio. You're just not necessarily playing them in order. But see, my point to all this is, 1, if I told you you had to learn like a little mini scale, you wouldn't be interested, right? And 2, I don't know, like, can you make melodies just playing everything in order all the time? Like, I don't know. Like, if you just went, that's all you got, all the time. Oh, go backwards. Right? So that's why I tell people, and I just think it's the easiest way to learn what they are, is you are playing the individual notes of the chord, but there's only 3 notes in any chord. Right? So some people think, like me, that there's 6 notes in a G. I got to know all 6 notes in the G because there's 6 strings, right? I used to think that for the longest time, years. I had no idea. I thought chords had all kinds of notes in them. Now, as it turns out, they do and they can. But you only need the 3. Well, you only need the 2, but you only need the 3. Okay? The 5th, 6th, 7th, the 9th, the 11th, the whatever. Those are all degrees, they call them. And so for example, you're playing a C major. Well, if you add the 7th note or the 7th degree of the C C, D, E, F, G, A, B. So if I add a B to that C, right? So I could remove, maybe I could just remove that. And there's the B ringing out instead of being it fretted to make a C. And now it's a different chord. It's a C major 7. See? Now the other way to play a C major 7 is to add in that B. Right? Maybe take this one away. Oh, see, you can do all kinds of things. And you don't have to know what it's called. Who cares? It helps, but it's not the end of the world. So again, my point earlier was, we spend a lot of time as a beginner thinking we have to actually learn theory too, and we don't. Okay? Hello, Jean-Francis. Oops. All right. So, and you guys know that sometimes I do come on here and play all kinds of songs, but then it trips the copyrights, then I got to edit things out, and I just end up deleting the video. So, and I kind of resent having to pay certain people copyrights because I'm actually showing off their song, and even encouraging people to learn their song or whatever, go listen to their song. It doesn't make sense. But it's always the same publishing companies. There's like 3 or 4 of them that come after you for anything. And it's just, I don't know what the process is, but it takes days, I think, to dispute it and whatever. I don't even bother with that. I don't have time for that. That's nonsense. So I think, what am I doing next? I was thinking of doing a video about something. Damn, I was going to run it by you and see, but I forgot now what that was, but I'll remember it. Did I finish my point? I did. I think I did about organizing. I've had a few people ask. Now, I have recorded courses, a beginner's course. The problem is I'm one of these people that it never gets finished because it's never good enough, or it doesn't have the right information, or maybe I should include that as part of this. And I'm constantly reshooting and tinkering. The lighting, it's too bright here. It's too dark there. I should have a close-up there on the guitar thing. And you know what I'm saying? And I just keep adding to it. And it keeps delaying the process of doing it. For me, it's mind-numbing work. Like, video editing and watching everything. So if you're editing an hour video or something, or a half-hour video, you got to watch it over and over, and you just like it goes on, and it's tough. And you're just staring at a screen, Anyways. And we had a lady earlier on in one of the chat comment, or one of the video comments, that wants to learn to play. Her husband had just passed recently, I believe, or she had just found his guitar or taken out his guitar that he used to play recently, and is hoping to maybe learn to play some of the songs that she remembers him by, and I think that's just amazing. So I hope I can help with that. I've invited her to join us on these opens and stuff, so that will be pretty cool. If we can get her pointed in the right direction. But so anyways, I think we haven't really covered much of anything, but it was one of those nights, and I just feel that sometimes you got to talk about stuff that is about guitar, but it's not about guitar, and you got to encourage creativity And you got to make sure that no matter what you do, like no matter how silly or how little you think it means, anytime you pick up your guitar, anytime, because remember, you're not trying to be Beethoven yet. You're trying to, you've got to develop these hands, right? You've got to get them working. No matter if you decide to be a picker, right? A strummer, whatever. These two hands, they got to be working seamlessly. And until you get that, you're going to be okay. People will know what song you're playing. You just, it's not polished yet, okay? I always say dance like no one's watching. And when you can play like no one's watching, which ironically, a lot of you do, you just don't think you do, right? But if you know, it's all up. So much of this is up here, and when I unlocked this, and when I got confident or whatever you want to call it, like everything changes. The stress goes, you know, like there's no routine. Yeah, I've got to sort of, depending on what I'm doing in my guitar life at that time, I work on things. Like I go on these kicks and I go, I'm going to work on my triads this week, right? You know, and you play triads and you do all that kind of stuff you go on a kick, and then you don't play them for a while. You work on something else. Yeah, I do that. But I have a general structured routine that I do every day. Pick up my guitar. It's very rarely with a pick. And I strum some chords. A lot of arpeggiating with my fingers. It's kind of my go-to way. Sometimes if there's a song I heard and I thought, oh yeah, well, how does that go? That was a cool song. I had that happen to me the other day. Now, I think you got to be old, and you probably, it might be a Canadian thing, but there was this band back in like the early 70s, late 60s, early 70s, and they were on all these K-Tel records. K-Tel was this record company that put out all these they were like a playlist. The only issue that nobody ever figured out was, how do they fit 22 songs on an album? When the reality is, you know, you were buying like whatever, Chicago, Elton John, Led Zeppelin, and there were like, you know, 7 cuts on it, 8 cuts, maybe 10 if you were lucky. How do they get 22 on there? So I never caught on how that happened, but I found out the hard way, you know, years later. But so I used to, and there was this band called Gallery, and I just heard it the other day, and oh, it's so nice to hear you. I love all the things you say and do, and it's so nice to hear you say, I wanna live you. No, I'm gonna live you in every way. Only I got a notion, you're causing commotion, and right? I don't know how many of you, even if I played it well enough that you would know the song, but yeah, you make sure no one was watching. Yeah. Any lead stuff? Yeah, sure. Or lead stuff, or is that what you're asking, Charles? Like, you mean like how to play lead or lead riffs, that kind of stuff? I'll give you a second before we wind down if you want to follow up on that, so I can. Yeah, that was a cool song. And then it goes. There is a bar chord in it in the bridge or whatever. It goes. Oh, so it goes. Oh, it's so nice to be with you. I love all the things you say and do, and it's so nice to hear you say, I'm gonna give you in every way. I said I got emotion, a dollar emotion, and then it goes. Baby, you and me now. Da, da, da. I'm gonna last a lifetime. About the time I like to be with you. Oh, it's so nice to be with you. I love all the things you say and do, right? And I just heard that song I have way back. I can remember trying to learn to play it or whatever, but I never really went far with it. And I think it was because of the C sharp minor at the time. And it's a critical, it's hard to replace that. Sometimes you just got to play the chords that are demanding, right? Other than that, it's a simple song to play. It's 3 chords, A, D, E, which are 3 of the chords that I recommend you learn as a beginner in a group of 3. So it's right there. It's just that C sharp minor, but it makes the whole song, right? Because the time I'd like to be with comes from the A. Da 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 da, builds tension, right? Like what's going on? Da 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 da. Then a little bit higher, right? C to D is higher. Da, about the time I'd like to be with you. Oh, it's so nice. Like it's just, I don't know, it's just a fun song. So I thought I would look into it, and lo and behold, so I started playing around with it. So, anyways, I'm gonna try. I think I'm gonna try to refine that one and put it in my the next time I go out playing live. Yeah, that was a grade school song. Absolutely. That was. I just didn't know the reach the song had or the band. I just thought it might have been a Canadian thing. I believe they were Canadian, but I might even be wrong about that. And I think that's how they got airplay here, because we had a rule way back in the 70s. It's called CanCon, Canadian content. So all the radio stations had to play a certain percentage of the hour had to be a Canadian music. So bands like back in the day, Lighthouse, April Wine, Guess Who, and then later the BTO, the Stampeders, Sweet, right? Sweet City Woman. But I just didn't know how much reach a lot of those bands got into the States, right? Maybe on the border, I get it, but down south and I'm in big cities, didn't think they would, so I didn't know. So the fact that that you have heard of them is quite not surprising, but pleasantly surprising to me, But Tony Orlando, absolutely. Was it? Okay, hold on a sec. Oh boy. I was, you know what? I'm coming home, I've done my time. I got to know what is and isn't mine. If you will read my letter telling you I'd soon be free, then you'd know just what to do if you still want me. If you still want me. Bum, 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 bum. We'll tie a yellow ribbon round the old oak tree. It's been 3 long years. Do you still want me? If I don't see a ribbon round the old oak tree, I get on the bus, forget about us, put the blame on me. If I don't see a ribbon round the old oak tree. And then there's that part, I never knew what he was saying for the longest time. I thought when I was a kid it was Mr. Hold That Bus Please or something. But so let me just think of the lyric I'm talking about. He goes, it's like a bridge thing. He goes, now that whole damn bus is cheering, but I can't believe I see 100 yellow ribbons round the old. So what was the part I didn't know? For years, was it? I think it was that line. Now that whole damn bus is cheering. I think that's what it was, and I thought it said, "Do you hear the driver? Please stop. Or something." Anyways, yeah, that was. And then he did another song. Knock 3 times and I'll see you in the morning, or something like that, right? That was Tony Orlando and Don. Knock 3, that's right. Knock 3, David's already nailed it. Knock 3 times, and geez, he didn't really have much, did he? Of course, those are probably all covers of old songs. I didn't realize a lot of those guys like that, and they never wrote any of their own songs. I never really realized that. It's funny. You're getting old when you hear like a third remake of a song. Like when you were a kid, you heard a song, oh wow, and then you found out that they covered it from a generation before, and now someone's covering the. Oh my God! Then you know you're getting old. That happens. There's a few of them that's happened to for me. But which song, Barb? Tie a Yellow Ribbon. That was one of my favorite songs growing up, and that one, and I gotta hold on a second. Hold on. Just give me a second here. We're going to start off with. Well, the south side of Chicago is the baddest part of town. And if you go down there, you better just beware of a man named Leroy Brown. Well, Leroy, he's more than trouble. You see, he stands about 6'4". All the downtown ladies call him treetop lover. All the men just call him sir. And he's mad, right? Berry picking songs. Ahmed? No. Don't do scales, buddy. Don't do any of that garbage. But yeah, so I can't remember. Now, this was a while back, and I can't remember it exactly. But I had this little gig at this kind of swanky, fancy kind of bistro thing. And, you sit there and you got to wear a shirt and stuff. And you sit there and you just play. And you're really just background music, right? And they don't want you too loud anyways. They don't want too fancy. So you just sit there and you do your thing. And I put together, because I have, I surveyed the room and I noticed the demographics. And I said to myself, right? So I had this little thing that I put together. Like a medley, but it wasn't polished, but it was okay. Like I tried to end song in a D and start another song in a D, so it's kind of, it didn't always work out. But anyways, and I did these little medleys of things just like that, right? And we had a band here called Trooper. And they did things like, raise a little hill, raise a little hill, raise a little hill, raise a little hill. Right? So you'd start playing these like little, just 20 seconds of a song. And I included Bad Leroy Brown. People went absolutely ape crap for this. Like they were up, clapping their hands. And this was in a bistro. right? Like a fancy, swanky bistro. They're probably paying about $200 a plate for their dinner. And they were so it was songs like that. Oh yeah, and they, of course, it was, I believe it was Valentine's Day, so everything was like a love thing, right? So I did the old. Oh, this one always gets them. Let me just. When I saw you standing there, I about fell off my chair. When you moved your mouth to speak, yeah, I felt the blood rush to my feet. Baby, I'd love you to want me the way that I want you, the way that it should be. Baby, you'd love me to want you the way that I want you, if you'd only let it be. Something like that. Anyways, it's been a while. But that gets them all the time, right? So all these old songs are fantastic. I don't know if you guys, this might be another regional one, but does anyone remember this one? I'll probably just get straight to the chord. Two for the show. I gotta get in the right. Two for the show. And my mother wants to go. It'll break her heart when I tell her she's too old. I'm in my place, got makeup all over my face. I think I know my lines, I don't know. One for the money, two for the show, three for the lady on the radio, four might be the one you'll never know. If only there was a better way to go. No, way to go. Oh, oh. Two for the show. That little walk up. Boom, 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 boom. So that was a band called Trooper. They were a Canadian band. It had some great songs. That was pretty much, and another band, Canadian band called Prism. You might know them for the song, I'm a spaceship superstar. Got a solar-powered laser beam guitar. Something like that, anyways. You might know them, but they're called Prism, Prism. Prism. And they had another one, Take Me to the Captain. Come on, tell him why I'm here. Oh, Boys in the Bright. That's, yeah, hold on a minute. Here they are. Boys in the bright, bright sports car, waving their arms in the air. Who do they think they are? Who do they think they are? Where did they get that car? No, where did they get that car? There it is. Da 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 da. Yeah, but you know what I'm talking about. Absolutely, absolutely cool song. And then they had "You're Here, I'm Here for," we're here for a good time, not a long time. Don't have a good time. No, I think they wrote that in D and E, so it went every day, something like that. Yeah, I'd get if I had about 10 minutes to noodle around, I'd get that song. And they had another one too. It was off the beaten path, but it was really good, and it was with no fear of good judgment. With no fear of good judgment. With no fear of good judgment. Let me play it with my fingers. With no fear of good judgment holding us back, we sail out on our northern sea. A boatload of crazy people and including the shotgun and me. And then the chorus, the big chorus was cruising on a sardine boat, loaded with crazy people. Yeah. We shall be the Santa Maria, looking for, damn, it's been so long, but that was another good one. I don't know any Kim Mitchell. Wait a minute, let me think. No, I used to, when I first learned, when I was starting to play guitar, and I was playing around the top string, I had at one point, there's the intro to that song, Let Go the Line, which would have been from about 1978. It's that kind of a bass line type of thing, but no. General Hand Grenade. It's got that kind of twang to it. And then I think doesn't the guy bust out the harmonica? Or that might be Baby Won't You Please Come Home. Baby, won't you please come home? But I think General Hand Grenade might have a good old General Hand Grenade, riding in a motorcade, sucking on a lemonade, right? That kind of thing. Yeah, that was a cool tune. That was a really good tune. I've kind of forgotten about that one. Hello from Brazil. Hello from Canada. Yeah, I didn't think those songs would have made it to the States. Because, well, yeah. Now, there is a story behind that band. At one point, they were being produced by Randy Bachman from Bachman Turner Overdrive from the Guess Who. And Trooper at that time was, I'd probably say the biggest. Yeah, they would have been the biggest Canadian band. Well, April Wine, hard to argue, but right in there, right? And the Guess Who. Now, the Guess Who were big because they had some good songs, but that American Woman, they broke in the States, right? So that made them, but, they were right up there, Trooper, as far as, so the deal was they were making $5,000 a week was their appearance fee to play throughout Canada, right? They traveled in a van and whatever, and they were loving it. And they had the albums out. And Randy Bachman offered them an opening slot on the BTO World Tour. And they turned it down. They said, because it was only like opening acts, they barely get paid anything, apparently. Back in the day, sometimes they did, sometimes they didn't, whatever. Maybe now it's a little more structured, but back in the day, I think the number quoted was they were going to get $1,200 a week as a band to go on tour, but all over the world, exposing their music. And they chose to stay and do their regular $5,000 a week gig, right? So anyways, it turns out they probably did well in their lifetime, but yeah, small world, and you make decisions and whatever, right? So, Patio Lanterns, yeah, that is actually Kim Mitchell, though I do believe These Eyes were big, yeah, for sure. I believe the story goes, he actually wrote that song Patio Lanterns while in Max Webster. And it was one of the songs, like nobody wanted it or something. And I think the story is he tried, or he might have written it and tried to give it to someone. Hey, I got a song for you. And and it was a big name guy. And he goes are you crazy? I'm not going to go singing about patio lanterns, right? And that's kind of the story behind that song. I don't know how to play it, or I could probably play it if I have it. And another song I came across way back, or just recently, sorry, from way back. Woke last night, the sound of the pouring rain. da 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 birthday. Da 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 da. No, then he goes da 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 da. Remember yesterday, love letters in the sand. Do you say I remember you through all those sleepless nights and all those endless days? I wanna hear you say I remember you. Yeah. A little Sebastian Bach I am not, however. It's not a hard song to play, as a lot of them aren't. Like a lot of those classic songs, or even songs now, when you strip away all the BS and all the layers of garbage and confusion and stuff that they put on through, things like pedals and effects, and then through post-production, right? Through the engineers, and they start putting things on, and you can really come up with some strange stuff, and there's no doubt about it. But to just sit there and, like, that song is G, C, and D, right? Yeah, I think it's G, C, and D. Remember, yes, yeah, she's basically G, C, and D, and then you got the E minor, because that's the sixth of G. It's probably in the key of G, right? So it's G. Yeah, it's one of those G, C, D, E minor songs. Like, throw it on the pile, right? Now that you got me, I am a little bit curious now as to see, what was it called? I Remember You? I Remember. Here we are doing the inner Google. Yeah, there it is. I Remember You. Let me just get the chords. You. Chords. Let's see what we got here. I mean, it's a pretty simple song to play. Yeah, let's get it here and see what it looks like. Woke up to the sound of the pouring rain. Oh, we want to have fun here? We'll add some Sebastian rock reverb. Woke up to the sound of the pouring rain. The wind would whisper and I think of you, and all the tears you cried, oh, they call my name. And when you're near me, I came through. Paint a picture of the days gone by, when love went blind and you would make me see. I'd stare a lifetime into your eyes, so that I knew that you were there for me. Time after time, you were there for me, yeah. Remember yesterday, walking hand in hand, love letters in the sand, and I remember you through all the sleepless nights and every endless day. I wanna hear you say, I remember you. Hey, yeah. See, it's an easy song to play. It's G, C, G, C, and D. And there's that one E minor in there. But like a lot of songs, it depends on, like, think about it. In this song, it's the singer, right? You're pretty much focused on the singer because of that high magnetic voice. But it's, look, I mean, it's 3, 4 simple chords. And, well, what are those chords, ladies and gentlemen? Well, almost, yeah, G, C, D, E minor. So throw that on the pile of songs you can play with G, C, oh, where will it be? Right? I mean, you throw it on the pile. So, anyways, I probably blew out the copyright on that, so that's okay. I think maybe all they do at first, I think, is I don't know if I have to edit it all out, but we'll see. But, well, I'll probably just slice the last part of the video, of the live when it turns into a video, because we're just playing around. But, so that way it keeps up when we actually did talk a little bit about guitar today in this show. So, all right, everybody. We spent our Wednesday night together. Sorry, I missed a bunch of after patio lanterns there. Oh no, and I think I got the big These Eyes. Yeah, big song in the States. I think I remember getting that message. Yeah, David, I have fun. That's the that's the thing, eh? I like playing old songs. That's the reason I wanted to play and learn guitar, to learn those old classic songs that I grew up to. I didn't realize that, when I got to know a little more, that I realized I could play any song with a guitar or any instrument. It's just going to sound a bit different, right? Or could, whatever. But my motivation was, I've always wanted to do it. It's something I've always wanted to do, is play guitar and keyboard. And I am sort of venturing into that world too. So I do play a little bit here and there. And I use the same approach. I learn keyboard. I'm teaching myself keyboard the way I now advise you to learn guitar. I just learn a couple of chords, and I'm learning how to go back and forth and getting my fingers. And then I'll expand from there once I realize, I can do it, whatever. So that's another story. But, yeah, I mean, that's why I want people to understand, I almost lost that dream of being able to do this. Like, I would have never been able to sit in a cafe or bistro and play for people. I would have never thought I could, go to an open mic or an open jam and play. I never thought and I never thought I'd be doing this, right? I never thought I'd be writing songs. I never thought any of that stuff would ever happen. I would have even in my wildest dreams thought that I'd ever be playing guitar at this age, or really at any age, but, so you can't, stuff happens, and, but my motivation was, almost like obsessive, because after the 2 failed attempts, this did not sit well with me because of my past. I'd always been able to conquer everything. I was an athlete. I could play anything, do anything. That was not an issue. And this bothered me because I failed. And I knew I could do it because it's athletic. It's not music, right? It's coordination. That's it. The music, you can pick that up, but you can't pick this up. And this is what you got to have to make that music, right? So once that, obviously the realization kicks in, that's, that's where I don't know, I just realized that I could do this. And so the fire got relit. I just had to come up with another way to do it. So that was, okay, what is the thing that's holding me back? And for me, it was 2 things. Trying to learn theory and playing bar chords. Those are the 2 things. Because those 2 things made my guitar life miserable every time I picked it up. So, of course, like I said earlier, you don't want to pick it up. because it sounds like crap. And eventually your brain just shuts the whole thing down and makes you do something else. Doesn't give you motivation, doesn't give you drive or determination. It just wants you to put it down and move on to something else. So because I was so driven on realizing that goal, I wanted to sit down and strum a song. And look, I'm going to be honest. Here's the song I wanted to strum, right? Then right in the middle of a good dream. I think I love you. So what am I? Some Partridge Family, right? And the other one was I woke up in love this morning. I woke up in love this morning. Went to sleep with you on my mind. Something like that, yeah. I woke up in love this morning. I woke up in love this morning. Went to sleep with you on my mind. I mean, like, oh, here it is, yeah. Hello, girl. Da 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 da. 2 o'clock, and I'm wondering what I'm doing here without you. I close my eyes and think you're here with me. And I woke up in love this morning. I woke up in love this morning. Went to sleep with you on my mind. Anyways. And I just wanted to do it. And so I realized I had to drop the theory and I had to drop the bar chords. Get them out of my life forever. And that's what I did. And then I said, okay, what do I do well? I play a few chords well, really well. Like I always was proud of my D chord. And I used to do this little thing here. So any time that I played a chord progression when I was practicing or a song that ended in D, I always did the... And if you're wondering what that was, it's a D chord. So I strum down on the D, and then I do a little, what they call a pull-off. So I get my pinky, and on the 3rd fret, I pull that open, like it's being fretted here as an F sharp in the D chord. So you got to be kind of like, it's kind of like a thing you got to do. You got to like, there's a bit of a touch involved, right? So the deal is you go down, and then you pick up. So and I would do that every time I ended on a D. And it got better and better and better and better as the more I did it. And then I became known for it. And I do it all the time. So if you're ever watching me and I break into some nuisance and start playing, and I ever end on a D, more often than not, I do that at the end. All right? Thank you so much, everybody. This time we're going to go. All right? It's bedtime. Thanks for your ongoing support. Oh, and if you would, go watch some of that video. I just released it. Maybe leave a comment. All right? Like, hey, that was great, or whatever. Much appreciated, because I'm testing YouTube, and I want to see if it's true that the more comments you get in the first, I think they said 24 hours, the more comments you get on the video, the more YouTube thinks that people like it. So they keep throwing it out there. And then what happens, we get more disciples, right? That join our no book guitar playing. And the bigger we the people, we can then stand and preach our gospel of no by the book guitar. That's going to be my new slogan. The home of the no by the book guitar. I just want to see if I've missed any. I can't believe he remembers all those tones. Oh, tunes. You probably meant tunes. Well, I don't remember a lot of them, but I do. I think because of the way I learn them, they stay in my head, maybe, if that's what you were wondering about. Or you might be saying tones because it is hard. That might be what you're thinking. Well, thank you if it is, because it is hard. It's the tone. And if you notice when I do these things, sometimes I stop at the beginning because I didn't get the right entrance tone, right? It makes a difference because if you start in the wrong slot, you can still do the tune, but you might run yourself out of your range, high or low, because you started in the wrong spot. Okay, good question. Um, okay, after open chords, uh, triads. Uh, and more, I would have said that no matter what your reason was, but because you want to maybe aspire to get into the caged system, knowing your triads will be essential. Knowing your root notes, where they are on the fretboard, will be essential. And because the cage system, and not only that, playing triads, much like bar chords, you're going to start relying more on your back three fingers when you play. So when you started out playing, you notice this finger was the key finger for most people. So you played your G this way, you played your C, you got your D, and everything was led by the hook finger. When you start playing bar chords, you don't have that finger, it's on the bar. So you got to start fingering that E shape that you learned to finger with that forefinger. You got to learn to finger it with the back fingers. And that's what makes it difficult, right? So by learning and the next step being triads, you're kind of going to be forced to rely more on your ring finger and pinky to get that triad and certain shapes along the certain strings. And that'll properly prepare you for the cage system, because the one thing about the cage system, you're going to have to know your roots, and you're going to have to know how to play with a bar and with your back three fingers. Okay? What else we got here? Quick check out previous question. Okay, so you're saying you're asking the same question, Jerry? Oh, spell corrected. Yes, isn't that a pain in the neck? Yeah, Randy's technically correct. But I think I think the person was actually, yeah, you were asking about a left-handed, like what would you do? What skill should I learn with my left hand after open chords? I believe that's the way I took the question, anyways. But technically, Randy is right in that you should be developing your right hand, because you'll even need that even if you go off to be a picker. You'll need that rhythm from the right hand. You'll need creativity and from the right hand, and you'll need razor sharp precision with your pick, especially if you start playing fast. So Randy is technically right, but I think you meant left hand, so I would say the triads. Oh, okay, gotcha. Thought I might have missed something there. All right, I think we got everybody. So yes, thank you again, and I hope to see you in my what's it called? what was the name of that video I released? See, my memory's gone. I hope to see you in my A Beginner's Guide to How to Learn Songs. Is it? See, shameless plugging, I'm good at that. I have no, and it's funny because I'm the type that won't go up for seconds at a buffet, or, you know what I mean? Like, I won't complain about just, thank you very much, see you later. I'm that type. But when it comes to a shameless plug or a shameless self-promotion, I'm all over that stuff. So anyways, thanks for a different night, and we'll see you all soon. And remember, just play your guitar.